I've been playing back through every Pokemon game in the franchise just so I can truly experience everything in the order they all came out and get a much better picture. And while I was doing that, I was thinking about all the cameos of important story and side content NPCs between generations. Through searching on YouTube, I found no one had really made something like that, and Bulbapedia's list of cross-generational references encompassed every single mention of other regions instead of specific characters. So I thought, hey, why don't I make my own video about this? So without further ado, here's every cross-generational cameo from the mainline Pokemon series. Now, just before I start this list, I want to clarify that this is cameos of specific characters and not random character classes, so that means I won't be talking about the Aqua and Magma Grunts in Gen 5, because they're not specific people. Also, all the cameos that I discussed from the original game still exist in their respective remakes. I just want to mention that so I don't end up talking about them twice. In Gen 2, Kanto can be traveled to, and almost every gym leader and important story character can be found and battled there. Blue has taken over the 8th gym, and uses a variation of his team from the champion battle in Red and Blue. Kyo, the fighting dojo master, can be battled at Mount Mortar and gives you a Tyrogue, which can evolve into either Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, or Hitmontop, depending on its attack and defense stat. Finally, Trainer Red, aka you from Gen 1, can be battled atop Mount Silver. In Gen 3, Janine, Koga's daughter, can be seen next to the gym in Fuchsia City in Fire Red and Leaf Green, although in the English translations her name is Charine for some reason. Whitney, Jasmine, and Price appear in the background of Pokemon contests, or at least their likenesses. And the man on Three Isle Path may be the Nugget Man from Gen 2. It's implied that he is, but he's not directly given a name or anything, so it's just sort of up to fan interpretation, I guess. In Gen 4, Professor Oak can be met in Professor Rowan's lab to update the player's Pokedex to the National Dex, as well as give the player an upgrade. Through a special Celebi event, the player can meet Giovanni and battle him, as well as find out that he's Silver's father. Oh, Star Wars. Jasmine gives the player the HM for Waterfall and can be seen in various Pokemon contests in Sinnoh. Crasher Wake can be found in Route 47 and he's just kinda chilling out. And finally, Steven Stone talks to you in Vermilion City to inform you about the roaming Latias or Latios depending on your game. And he can be talked to in the Silphco building in Saffron City to give you a starter from the Hoenn region after you defeat Red. In Gen 5, all previous gym leaders and champions can be battled on the Pokemon World Tournament in Black 2 and White 2. The Team Rocket Grunt who stole the machine part in Kanto back in Gen 2 can be seen in Icarus City, now reformed and married.
I never hear, idiot. Bye-bye, go-go.
Caitlyn of Gen 4's Battle Castle is now an Elite Four member in the Unova League. In Black and White, Looker sends you on a mission to help him track down the 7 sages of Team Plasma. Cynthia can be found in Undella Town making 13-year-olds shit their pants. And Crasher Wake can be found on Route 18 again, this time he's just still kinda chilling out there. In Gen 6, Mr. Briny and Pico are trapped in a Mario painting in the Lumiose City Art Museum. Looker reappears at the end of X and Y for the lackluster Team Flare post-game, and he can also be briefly found in the Battle Resort in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Bridget of Pokemon Box Ruby and Sapphire operates the 3DS app Pokemon Bank. I know I said main series games, but I'm counting Pokemon Box as a Gen 3 game, and Pokemon Bank as a 3DS Gen 6 game, if that makes sense. I don't know, I don't care. And this last one's not a cameo, but it's kind of a cool fact since this gen only has one notable cameo in the main games. Gen 6 is the only generation that would ever show a reference to a future generation, and this is through the backpacker that can be found in random hotels throughout Kalos. When the player talks to them, he says that they're from a far-off region, and he gives the player a strange souvenir, which can only be available in the Alola region otherwise, which is Gen 7. In Gen 7, Professor Oak is... oh no. I shouldn't talk about this one. Oh, it's his cousin? Okay, never mind, we're good. Dexio and Senna appear on Akala Island to talk to the player about Zygarde, and later give the player the power of Mega Evolution. And they also appear at the Battle Tree later, too. Colress appears throughout the main campaign of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Professor Burnett from Pokemon Dream Radar appears as the head professor at the Dimensional Research Lab, and is the wife of Professor Kukui. She also gives you the Reveal Glass, which can change forms of the Forces of Nature trio, referencing her original game. The man in the Ula Ula Ferry Terminal is quite possibly still the same Nugget Man from Gen 2, as hinted by his dialogue. Grimsley appears on the beach on Route 16 to give the player a Sharpedo for their Poke Ride. Red and Blue can be found at the Battle Tree, and you can battle them, along with Wally and Cynthia being battled on the Battle Tree as well, but not as much focus is put on them. And in the post-game, Looker appears with Annabelle from Gen 3's Battle Tower, and helps the player track down Ultra Beasts. And finally, Team Rainbow Rocket appears in the post-game of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and contains every single evil team leader from every previous generation, including Giovanni, Archer, Archie, Maxie, Cyrus, Getsus, and Lysander. And then as far as the current generation goes, there's nothing yet. Absolutely nothing. So yeah, thanks for watching one of my first serious videos. I really appreciate if you would leave a like. You don't have to if you don't want to, though. I mean, only like it if you liked it. Expect more Pokemon content in the future, and maybe other videos as well. I'm not sure yet. So, see you next time.